Hey everyone, today we are out deep in the wilderness. This road has a lot of active logging trucks going by today. Right here, anyone who's watched the channel for a while will recognize this is the tank culverts. There's a playlist of major beaver dams here. These pipes are 8-foot diameter. When they get blocked, the left side of the road where all those trees are dead would become very flooded. Hasn't been flooded in over a year. And right here, this dip in the road is where it would flood going through the woods. They always build it where it floods down the road from the culvert if possible. So when it does get plugged or beavers plug it, they want it to flood somewhere else so they can just come in with dump trucks and a bulldozer, fix it real fast, other than having to replace the pipes that wash out. But there is another beaver issue 5 minutes up the road from that. Probably unrelated. They relocated the beavers or hunted them off, something like that. But just 5 minutes up the road, there is another problem. See you there. All right, everyone, we're coming up on scene right now. It is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice cool day, middle of June. This is the pipe right here, this hump in the road, and here's where it's flooding. You can see the ruts. Amazingly, even though the roads are in pretty rough shape, they're sending 200,000-pound log trucks through. I passed a few of them today on the road. Wow. Take a look at this load going by. That is huge. Look how tall that is. That's a lot of logs. It's been pretty muddy out. I'm surprised they're running trucks that heavy. Some of those double wide trailers like that, especially stacked that high, can be over 200,000 pounds. All right, let's spin ourselves around and go right back to that. And we gotta park somewhere else. There's not enough room there. Like I said, they're running the big trucks today, and those things are double wide. Takes up both lanes. You gotta pull over, way over off the grass when you pass one of those trucks. But hopefully we'll get all this water drained. We gotta go take a look at the situation. I love working in big pipes. It's not one of those pipes that's 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet that you gotta be crouching in. This one looks like a 6, maybe even an 8-footer. So we're gonna pull over right here. We got perfect parking for it, right on this little dead end. Let's get the rake out. Let's get the big high boots on. Get to work. Get camera number 2 out. I'm gonna park it right here. Nicely out of the way. Nice. All right, everyone, we're all geared up. Got the big high boots on. Took off the rubber boots. Got the rake. It's always handy to take apart a beaver dam. We got one auxiliary light headlamp. Camera number 2. We will put on the tripod once we get in there. Hopefully it doesn't shut off. It is a touchscreen and it is raining. That can trigger that sometimes. All right, so let's get a good look at this so we can get some before and after footage once this drains. Here's a view over here of above the pipe. That looks like it used to be a beaver dam at some point, maybe not anymore. There's probably a beaver dam somewhere. I mean a beaver lodge. That looks like it used to be a lodge at some point, if that's not what I said. It's raining, but we're gonna be working inside the pipe for nearly 100% of this job. Take a look at the flooding down there of the road. That should be completely drained by the time we get back up here. It just started raining, like the worst timing, because it wasn't raining at all earlier in the day. Look at this, culvert's barely buried, but yet You should see some of the trucks that go by over this. I'll put footage of them at the end of the video. It doesn't get crushed at all. Don't understand why they ever even consider plastic. And this pipe looks like it's aged pretty well. It's got pitting, but yet trucks don't crush it. Look at that, there's another pipe over there. We didn't even notice it. It's probably buried so deep. But you see, there's not much flowing through the pipe right now. The other side doesn't look like it's holding up that much water. Like, I mean, it's gonna drain back very quickly. The pond doesn't look that big. Who knows, it could go back in there pretty far. There's a little bit of a clearing, but we don't know. This pipe, we're not even gonna try to open it. Look at this. Beavers have plugged it with rocks, everything. Wait, that's not the second pipe. The second pipe is here. Still, they use rocks and a bunch of stuff. We're not even gonna try to get that open because with this one, they'll probably have it plugged up again in 2 days. We're only buying the road time until they're properly trapped by the park rangers. Nothing's gonna happen. Look at all these little teeny trees. That's actually their favorite type of tree to work with. And they're right in the water. All they gotta do is cut them down, drag it over here, and also take note, the leaves on the trees aren't even full yet. And today is June 11th, 2024. We're in an area where the growing season doesn't technically start until the 15th of June, although there has not been a frost in about 4 weeks. It's possible historically. That's why they say that. All right, there's no trail coming down here. Nobody looks at this when they come out here to inspect it, it seems. I just covered myself with permethrin bug spray because I'm gonna be sleeping in the wilderness in the truck for quite a few nights and without a shower. And that kind of bug spray doesn't leave you feeling sticky like the regular Deep Woods Off does. Now the water stinks. I can tell there's probably moose poop or something mixed into this. So we're gonna find a spot to set camera 2. Honestly, I probably should have brought 2 magnetic tripods, but I only brought 1 out here. But we're gonna make it work. We'll have an angle over here somewhere where hopefully it won't get washed away. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is running. I will break that one branch out of the way to give you a better view of everything. And here's our magnetic tripod I'm gonna set you guys in. Here we go. The mosquitoes don't seem to care about the permethrin spray, probably because it's being rained off. Right here's a big light I'm gonna hang on the ceiling in there with a magnet. Got the rake. Hopefully camera number 2 here doesn't get washed away. But if I start sending enough water out, I'll come and check on it. I always try to give you a better view of the pipe here head on, other than putting the tripod up top. I only put the tripod on top of the culvert looking down if I think there's a very high chance of it getting washed away. Let's go look at the situation. Oh, I hope that's not active. I don't think it is, thankfully. That's a wasp nest from white-faced hornets. It looks like it's a year old. Okay, we're good. That's a big beaver dam, 3 feet tall. Let's get to work. We're gonna send a surge. Hopefully that tripod out there holds up. See this joint in the pipe? This could be problematic someday. Hopefully we don't run into any beavers that are too angry. Let's flip you over, upside down, give you a good angle. All right, everyone, let's get to work. I've never seen beavers put so much birch bark in it. current. We gotta get this out of the pipe. It's not moving quite yet. I'll move out of the way. This is a difficult one. I'm almost out of breath. I'm sweating like crazy in here. And this pile, once we get enough of it, the water pressure should push it out. this one well. Such a pain in the butt today. Might be the most difficult one we've done in years. Come on already, debris, move. I'm sweating so much. Need a slight breather. Eventually, we'll build enough pressure, everyone, to get rid of this. Surprised it hasn't moved yet. Usually by now, that would have all moved. This is probably the toughest clog we've had in years. And I'm so out of breath. Get back to it. We're getting close though to releasing a wall. And once that thing gives, I gotta be able to run over it if it starts coming towards me rather than undermining it. Just waiting for this to push through. That'll be awesome on camera too. Hopefully camera 2 can withstand that extra blast. I'm getting rid of everything in my work area because I don't want to trip if I have to run. Don't flood my boots. Alright, we're gonna... It's not breaking right now, so we gotta work on this before we can do more of that. These are powerful magnets. Turn the light around. We gotta free this up a little bit, I think.
We're going to send more water and hope this stuff floats enough where it's not on that stupid crack anymore. Yeah. Powerful magnets. Out of breath. This one is there. I think I can get this pretty fast. So I'm gonna go move the other camera. I don't trust it.
Let's stick this branch through the camera. Ooh. Now I'm pretty confident it'll catch if you guys do fall over.
stupid beavers. Well, maybe not. But that current is strong. I think I'm gonna flood them. Am I right? I'm flooding them, that stupid beavers. All right, now we got to get to the other side of that, which is an unstable dam, so we're going to do that one carefully. It's a dangerous job because the pipe's not coupled together properly, but the road is drained, so even if we walk out on this job, we accomplish the goal. Water's off the road. Not super flooded, but very wet, the boots. So out of breath. That takes a lot of energy moving that stuff around. So out of energy. It's hard to move around. I feel like I just had a major workout. There. Put the light back in here. You can see well enough. Here it comes, I think. Maybe. Is it coming? Yeah, I think it's coming. Yeah, here we go. Safely out of the way. Oh, nicely. Most of it came out. Woo! Here it comes, I think. Maybe. It's coming. Yeah, I think it's coming. Yeah, here we go. Safely out of the way. Oh, nicely. Most of it came out. Woo! All right, now that the water pressure is not dangerous. All right, now that the water pressure is not dangerous, let's get the rest of it out. Everything's out of the way. It didn't flood anywhere near the camera like we thought. So now, we gotta head on back up there to the original dam. When the water level was high, not much was going over it. So it was not really able to help us. When these big blockages occur, we always rely on the water pressure to help us remove it. All right, that dam is gone. I got stuck against the joints. I always talk about in videos, things won't get stuck in a smooth pipe. Well, this obviously is not a smooth pipe. At this point, I think I'm gonna get soaked. Not even any use trying at this point. Oh wow, almost strong enough to knock me down. Let's get you guys set back up with the light. Yeah, I'm gonna get flooded with those rapids. Beavers at this location are a pain in the butt. All right, everyone. There's about 20% left, but we got to deal with this again. And this should be the last time we got to deal with this. It's backing up. We need more current down here. And this camera light's dying. It's okay though. Got it. All in one go. You'll see that on camera number 2. All in one go. A couple more stragglers. Now the current's speeding up. Boots are completely flooded. I had to do that because it's a dam. It's holding up sediment, preventing me from digging this out any deeper. Because it was filling in the void between the old dam and the new dam. And this water pressure will help me dig. And there's boulders right here under the water. Oh, my pants are falling down. Belt came undone. Damn, still got integrity. There's rocks and stuff on the bottom holding up some debris. Can't do much about that. There's still a dam down there. I can tell you, moose poop is mixed in with this water. I can smell it. think we're just about done. Oh wow, the little dam broke by itself. All right, we're done. It's a little bit of sediment in the pipe, sand and rocks. Can't do much about that. The only way that's gonna leave is if we get a heavy amount of rain and, ooh, there's fish. That keeps scaring me. I keep thinking it's the beaver coming over, but it's not. Oh, this light's dead. I got another identical one. If we find another one. So, a couple little things are stuck in here. We'll give them a kick. Come on out of here. There we go. Got the couple of sticks at the joint. Now, if the beavers, that was a really, really big dam. Could not believe how much that was reinforced. Now, if the beavers are still around, I tripped on a stick. If the beavers are still around, I'm mainly just exhausted. That was over an hour of strenuous work. So, camera number 2 off. Here's what the exit looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. Let's flip you guys back around. We're doing awesome on battery power, honestly. Still got 40% remaining and we started with 63. I'm trying to get everything out of here in one go. That water's disgusting. That brown water there. I know that smell. I recognize that smell. A lot of these beaver swamps were once beaver swamps before. And here's a piece of that I-beam, see? Well, U-beam that they reinforced the inside of the culvert with, if you saw that. That must have been scrap they just left out here. It's so hard to walk with these boots full. That's why I won't get the ones up to my chest like people suggest. You're not getting out if that river knocks you down. So, a lot of times when you drain an area like this and the beavers are permanently gone, it grows back into a grassland. Moose go grazing in there, pooping everywhere. And when a new family of beavers comes back and plugs it because it's a very good spot, all the moose poop floats, it rots. That's what I'm smelling. So much moose poop mixed in with this water. So we're gonna go back to the river I showed at the beginning of the video from previous uncloggings. I'm gonna take a bath. It's not even that warm out, but I'm so sweaty, it's gonna feel good. Look, there's a school of fish. I'm sure they're happy. Now they can finally freely go up and down the river. I think those are the same kind of fish I had at home in my pond. Whatever they're called. Creek chub, something like that. But maybe when we come back in like a half an hour after taking a bath, this water will have cleared up. Because any dam builds up sediment, and that's why it's disgusting. Sediment's eroding. I see rapids up there. Since the trees aren't filled in yet, it's still early spring for this area. Let's go take a walk up there and try to find the Angry Beaver Lodge, because I'm sure they're still active. I can't believe we didn't get any threatening smacks of their tail against the water telling me to get out of here. And it was rotten. See that? This tree stump was standing up. It fell over because only the buoyancy of itself was keeping it up in the water. Yeah, we drained this thing back 3 feet and it's still dropping. Can't wait to see what it looks like when we come back. Now the water level is 3 feet below the road. It's no longer crossing. We'll get some really good before and after shots once we return. This water's disgusting. I have to dump myself out a little bit. Oh. Yeah, I gotta take these things off. This water's nasty. And I did so much of it, I even got some blisters of raking so much. That's probably one of the top 3 most strenuous. Not time-consuming wise, but most strenuous. Time-consuming wise, I believe took me 3 days to get one of them down. Continuously coming back, and we time-lapsed most of the video. But I want to clean up, get all my gear put away, and then we'll be back here to check this out. All my bug spray washed off, got sweat off in there, and now there's deer flies all over the place. So much nasty poop water. Deer flies hurt when they bite you. There's so many of them. I know they're gonna be biting me when I'm taking a bath too. Awful creatures. This is why I always have towels on the seats of the truck, because I get disgusting and now I gotta sit in there to drive down the road. My car keys went underwater.
but it's okay. The car will still start with the chip in there. Tonight when I sleep, I'll leave the key fobs open just in case water got in. I'm gonna need a new pair of these. Just from walking around and my legs rubbing together, it's gonna start making a hole. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, there's a slug on the tripod. At least my hands were wet when I touched it. If you touch a slug with dry hands, the slime's hard to get off. But if your hands are already wet, it doesn't really stick to you. All right. Get that air conditioning turned up. Let's get down the road, take a bath, then we'll come right back. Hear all that buzzing? Those flies. And once they're trapped in your car, they don't want you anymore. They try to get out. Oh, I gave it the chance. It didn't want to leave. It's okay. They can go for a ride with us. Let's go to that river. So this is the dominant road now. This is where all the logging trucks are going. And I think some of them passed over me. You might have seen those on camera too, if it was visible. I heard some rumbling sounds when I was in there working. It was probably logging trucks. You stupid fly. Get out. Alright, let's pull on over. Go take ourselves a bath. Nice and far away. Alright, let's go take a bath. This is where the water was flowing through when this beaver swamp was flooding. This is its overflow area. Surprised there's no tadpoles in this pool. But that becomes the river where I just parked when beavers are active in this area. And probably maybe during the spring thaw. But there used to be a beaver dam running all along this road to keep height in their pond. That's why all the evergreen trees you see here died, because this was flooded for a few years consecutively. And those are even my ribbons when I marked this road as a hazard. No shoes at the moment. My feet are already pretty well calloused up from having a gravel driveway. Now this water is still slightly dirty. I'm sure there's beaver ponds along it, but at least it's cleaner. At least. I'm gonna take a quick bath in it. Bug spray on my hat's probably still working. It's probably why the flies aren't landing on my head. Those don't need to go for another swim. But I'll time lapse this, me taking a bath. That's cold. All right, I just decided to take a whole-on bath. Could have done a better job, but at least I'm clean, sort of. And I washed my clothes during the process. I'm gonna hang out here for like half an hour, drip dry as much as possible before I get back in the car. And just actively doing things the rest of the day, I should dry off enough. I'm regretting not bringing sandals or something to wear in the car. You notice how there's suds in the water other than me? That's from agitation of water with a lot of organic material in it.
Could be anything from rotting plants to poop. That's what causes that. I just walked and put everything back in the car. Just trying to drip dry a little bit in the sun. I'll probably change my shirt. That'll really help me dry off. I should probably change my pants too. I should change everything because I'm pretty wet. I recognize that log. We released that about a month ago. Came here, there was no beavers, but I did preventative maintenance. That was put there by storm surge and we sent it through. Everyone likes to complain. Why are you sending it downstream? Well, this is the wilderness. The chance of it finding another bridge or pipe is extremely low. If it even goes to another pipe, it's most likely going to go into a lake or a beaver pond and get stuck, sink, waterlogged. Plus, when you have a dam that's actually inside the pipe like today, not around the front of it, it's hard to pull it out, even with an excavator. They usually take a long stick, they usually grab on with the excavator a log and they jam it back and forth in the pipe until the beaver dam becomes loose and comes out downstream. If you look up here stuck on the bank, and those are from previous uncloggings, all that debris down there. Wow, right now we're at the tank culverts. Look at this. Look what's in the road. Look at that. It's a gigantic snapper. Hopefully she didn't lay her eggs somewhere in the road. They often do that. Gotta get out of here. Big log truck's coming. It looks like it's walking tall to purposely look big. Maybe. I don't see any recent dig marks, thankfully. That's a big turtle. Look at that. It's a real big one. Back into the swamp. Snapping turtles don't want anything to do with you. They only bite you if you try to pick them up. If you're swimming in a pond with them, they'll always avoid you. Unless you accidentally step on one sleeping underwater, I suppose. Just relaxing now. Ooh. Can't really go far in that water. The river's over there. Well, it's off the road. That's all I was worried about. Alright everyone, we are now pulling back up to the flooded area, the previously flooded area, and here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now driving through. The sunshine has even dried up the road. That water left on the side is just stuck there because the drainage ditch needs to be more well maintained. That water you're seeing sitting just cannot make its way back to the pipe. Now let's get out, go back there, check it out. Oh, there was another culvert pipe. Did you just see that? That's also related to the same beaver swamp. Look at how many butterflies there are. Look at that. So many butterflies. They're eating something. Alright, I'm still working on drying off, so that's why I'm not using socks or anything. And these pants will dry very fast, so I'm leaving them on. I did go ahead and change my shirt though. Now let's go back and take a look at the beaver's swamp here. See this? The balsam fir tree, it's starting to die from that flood. It might be able to bounce back. But like I said, if they don't get on trapping these beavers, we'll be back in the same situation in probably a few days. Not overnight. That was a pretty big dam. This is all drained back nicely. Here's what this area looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. Completely empty after over 3 feet of water loss. Down the road, here's what it looked like before.
And here's what it looks like after. Quite a big difference. The exit of the pipe you probably won't see too much because the water has probably dropped back down. Actually, you will see more than was coming out before because a lot of it was crossing, then a little bit was coming through the pipe. So now everything's coming through the pipe, so yeah, there actually will be a bit of a difference. Here's what the end of the pipe looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. A bit more flow coming, a little bit of debris stuck there from us, a little bit of debris from another unclogging done by probably the excavator. I've seen these pipes, which I believe are probably 8 feet because I was very comfortable in there. Well, that one's 4 feet. This one's probably 7, 8 feet. I was very comfortable with the workspace. But I've seen this one plugged completely before. I've seen beavers build a dam across the road or along the road so they get more depth. And when they're completely underwater, a culvert, it's too dangerous to work on. In there, I was a little concerned even getting behind the second dam, the dam when everything got stuck against that coupling area. But it seemed to be easier than I thought. Oh, a snake! There's a snake. Is that just an ordinary water snake? Don't see water snakes too often in Maine. I see them more often down south. I've seen a lot of them in Ontario, but not in Maine. Look at him just swimming along with the current. If I jumped in there, he'd take off faster. So here's the other pipe, completely blocked. Look at this is the whole beaver dam structure. Don't really see the pipe, but it's there. The excavator will get it. Like I said, it's inevitable. They're going to build back if they're still here, so not going to do that pristine of a job. But I want to take a little hike if the swamp layout allows us to look for where the lodge could be. Who knows? This could be a secondary pond. Usually an area this small, there'd be an angry beaver splashing its tail trying to get you out of here. None of that today. Got a few brief scares like that stump falling over randomly. Bunch of fish splashing around. As we lower it down, swamp gases are released because the water pressure is holding the mud against gas pockets from rotting material. The gas pockets form after the water's there. But as the water drops, the pressure is lower and it slips out through the mud, makes the area start stinking. Not too much of it today, but I did see some bubbles coming up. Dam's completely gone, looking really good. Here's what this area looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Let's make our way, if we're able to. Let's not go that way. It's a big spider web. Ooh, a big bullfrog, or a green frog right there. Whoa. Woo! Frog on the way. Ooh. There's the fish going on out. Look at the size of that bloodsucker right there. Look at that. That's a giant bloodsucker. See, compared to my hand, that thing's huge. Look at this, compared to my finger. Look how big that leech is. That thing is huge. Wow. Any more leeches? That right there is a bullfrog tadpole, that really big one. Is that a baby leech? Nope. Oh, another frog. Just looking around, making sure all the creatures are in spots that they can get out of. They're all in the main channel now, so they can get back to the pond that will stay there.
Those are some more bullfrog tadpoles. Actually, they might be green frog tadpoles. Bullfrog tadpoles, I think, are a bit bigger, and considering we're seeing green frogs around the area, it's probably green frogs. Notice the water has cleared up a whole bunch. It was very dirty before because it was eroding a lot of this mud. Even the permethrin spray, can you hear the buzzing? A lot of flies around me. Where did that big bloodsucker go? It was just right here. It probably already made its way. That's what it was doing. The bloodsucker was smart enough to... Oh, there it is, there it is. There's the bloodsucker. Oh, there it is. Wow, its underbelly is orange. Wow. That is actually very beautiful compared to my pet leech. This one has an orange underbelly and spots on the top of it. But this area of water will stay. Now the road for now is saved from being undermined for a bit. Whoa. Let's plow on through here. These flies are annoying. I'm gonna put myself in the view too, in case I get whacked by a tree. Okay, there's a blue ribbon in here. The logging company has gone in here and explored before, probably looking for the beavers. Blue ribbon's what you're supposed to put up if there's areas where the beavers are problematic or there's just outright issues with water crossing there. Ah, these flies. Permethrin spray you're, whoa, only supposed to put on your clothing. Sometimes I put it on my skin. I didn't do it right now, but I should have. Oh, this is nasty. We can't zoom in this setting, can we? Oh, nasty and rotting. But based on the foot, I think it's a turtle. But it doesn't have a shell. Is this a logging truck coming? It's something big. Is it a logging truck? Let's get back in the water. Ooh, ooh. Let's get back in the water a little bit. I think a logging truck's coming. Here we come. Is it a logging truck? So they're actively logging around here. They'll be happy this road's drained. Yep, wow, look at all those logs. Woo! Awesome. That guy going over empty is probably what I could feel rumbling over. You could probably hear that when I was in there working earlier. He probably went by empty. Because I didn't see any trucks since I took my bath, or before I took my bath. Yeah, they're running the double wide trailers. That's nasty. Ooh. Yeah, usually when there's so much mud around from it raining a lot, they go back to the street legal trailers because they're not as heavy. Yeah, look, the water was way up here before. And we got to be on the lookout for very, very angry beavers. Look, see how much sediment there is? That's why it was running dirty at first, but it's cleaned up enough that there's no more dirtiness. Yeah, the water level was up. That log was just about underwater. Oh, we found the beaver's lodge right there. They always hide in plain sight. That's one of the entrances right there. All right, we got to watch out. There could be a very angry beaver. It could come out of that hole right there at any moment. Yep. We located it. That's a big lodge. Look at it. You see that in there? Big old beaver lodge. All right. So, is it still active? We don't see any beavers. I'm gonna say yes, things have been added to it at least in the past few months. They could have been relocated because they're obviously an issue to this logging company. Built right underneath a giant cedar tree. So we come up here on this higher perspective. Oh my gosh, I'll show it in a minute. I can't believe it. There's an old truck or car out here. Oh wow. There's an old bottle dump. Are they old enough to be cool? Not super old. What do you guys think? It doesn't look that old, but it's a bit old. It's a little bit different shape than beer bottles these days. Some old bottle dump. Pretty common. People would dump bottles and cans in their yard. I just stepped on broken glass. Here's some old cans out here. Motor oil can. Yeah, back when it used to come in a can and you'd have to puncture it like that to pour it into your engine. I just got bit by one of those flies now that I'm slowing down and stopping to show these. Ouch, ouch. They're biting me now that I'm still. I gotta start moving again. But yeah, there's an old truck out here. Let's go look at it. So this is all flooded areas. This is not part of the pond. It's just the groundwater kept it here. So this will probably eventually drain, maybe. Look at the rocks sweating like a drink on a nice ice cold drink on a hot day. It's starting to get warm out now that the sun came out. These flies followed me right into the woods. Here's another cool old can. What's that? Does that say Sunoco? No, it does not. I see other old cans and stuff. There's another one right there. Cool. Got a little bit of exploring here. Wonder what else could be in these woods. You never know. Considering how old that stuff is, I doubt we're going to come across a shack or anything. Right here's a whole bunch of beaver chewed marks within the past few months. Yeah, look at this. And it was in the water. This old truck, this was flooded before we came in here. Is this a really old dually pickup truck, it looks like? Look at the tree. That's cool. This is super cool. Look at that. Get a few pictures of that tree going through it. Look at that. Get a picture of all that. That's one really solid, heavy-duty rear end in this old truck. Got a bunch of bullet holes in the cab. Lots of mosquitoes. The frame's in very good condition considering it's been out here this long. Ew, I crushed some kind of bug on myself. Look at those bullet holes. What kind of bullet do you think that was to go through the frame like that? And someone shot that a long time ago, because look at the big tree that grew in the way. Yeah, the bullet hole doesn't go through the tree that we can tell. Wait a second. So the bullet hole, this wound could have started by it puncturing the tree with a big blow, I suppose, but it was probably a long time ago. I'm assuming it's a big bullet, like maybe 50 caliber or something. Look at this thing. Yeah, water was up inside there before we drained all this. Just trying to get some good angles. Mosquitoes are bad out here. It's amazing. The body on this barely has any damage for it sitting in water out in the swamp all this time. Thing's got a cool looking grill. Look at that. Does anyone know what kind of truck this is? That's really cool. And there's some more cans of oil in the front of it. Get a look at that engine in there. Nice. Wouldn't it have been hilarious if the beavers made this thing into a lodge? Real nice old truck. Still solid enough to stand on it. Yeah, there's no way we're even attempting to open this hood with the trees in the way. Does the door still operate? Door still opens. Does the latching work? No. Didn't expect it to. Please, no bees hives. Old heater. Ouch. Everything's seized up. I like it. I would love to have something old and abandoned like that out of my woods. Because things like that, when they're old like that, before the days of plastic and junk, that's cool, sitting in the woods. That's just real cool. That's really cool. I want to look around in the woods a little bit more with you guys. Because if we found that, maybe there's more. Probably not around here with all these hills, but let's explore in front where the truck is facing. It's probably our best luck to find things. Yeah, let's go look around a bit. Even some of the paint stood up. It was a green truck. Maybe dark blue. Let's take this until we hit the overgrown logging road I parked in the end of. Oh wow, look at that. It's a real ladybug, I think. See how skinny and weird its body is? Most of them you see these days are actually not ladybugs. They're Asian lady beetles brought here to help with pest control. Some people will consider those a pest. They come in my house personally in large numbers in the fall once it starts getting cold as they seek shelter. But they're actually beneficial even though they can show up in crowds. They help eat aphids, protect crops. They don't cause damage to homes. Some people say they supposedly bite, but I have not got bit by them, and I have literally thousands of them come in my house in the wintertime seeking shelter. Wow. Look at the size of this anthill. Good thing we're not in Florida, because an anthill that big would usually mean fire ants. Just looking around for vehicles. Here's the road I'm parked on. Maybe we'll come back here in the winter when there's nothing growing. Here's the road that I parked on. Yeah, maybe in the winter we can explore up this road, but it's too overgrown. We're not doing that today. Now I'm looking around where the water was crossing the road. We drained all this. We drained a pretty big area. It was crossing up here. There's also another culvert pipe up here that it was backing up to. This culvert pipe was probably installed only to handle the drainage ditch water. But it was probably handling the stream. Or let's see if the beavers knew about it and came up here and blocked that too. But I've seen in the past the beavers will build a dam all the way up the road to get more depth in their pond. Be nice to come across another big truck while we're out here in person. Here's the culvert pipe. See some sinkage in the road. It might have some damage itself. Yep. Usually this sinking around it means the bottom of the pipe is rusted out and it's sucking it in and flushing it through. Let's take a look. Ooh, a frog. Ooh, bunch of frogs and some fish. So there used to be two pipes next to each other. That one's so mangled by the excavator. Yeah, as I suspected, bottom of the pipe is rusted out. A little bit of beaver stuff, but not really. Yeah, that's why the road's sinking. The pipe's rusted out. It's got to be replaced. So this water could be draining still, because this you could tell is all flooded. There's still a couple of fish here stuck in some of the little pools, but that'll become raccoon food come nightfall, coyote food. Any creature basically out here is going to go ahead and eat those. The little teeny fish stuck in the little pools will become frog food. Yeah, these ones need to be replaced. The ones we unclogged are in pretty good shape. There's so much rotting plant material exposed now. This area smells like the beach at low tide. Literally, even though this is in salt water, it smells basically exactly the same. All right, we're gonna head on out of here. Don't see active beavers. If I saw an active beaver in here, or return to one swimming away, checking out the pipe to block it again, I'd put a trail camera in here and come back in the morning. We've done that before, but I don't think it's a suitable one because I don't see beavers, which is very unusual. If they were home, they'd be out and furious. They'd be out ready to rebuild as soon as I walk away. Don't see that today. Nope. Don't see any of that. Gonna have to check myself for ticks later. Walking through this tall grass. There's a well by the road. See very high groundwater. I want to know if it's safe to use the well, because I've found piles of moose poop inside of these things before. So let's take a look. There's a well here with a pipe leading down to the road. Yeah, that's nice and clean. Is this a sign? No. Cover it back up nicely. Just making sure. I've found piles of moose poop inside those things before because the cover's fallen off or something. And here we are. There's the water coming out. Made a cool noise up there in the well. Going down the little drain. Lots of nice flowers, whatever those are called. I have a bunch of those in my yard. Don't know what they are though. We got some white clover. For here we have some pink clovers. It looks like morning glories, but I don't know if that would be growing out here. I'm going to use this opportunity that we have some semi-clean water. I'm going to brush my teeth. And there's moose tracks out here. Those deer flies are being really annoying. I can't sit still. If I'm just walking around, they don't bother me. But if I stop for a moment, I get bit by a whole bunch of them. Before I head on out, we're gonna do one more check to see if there's active beavers. If not, we won't be leaving a trail camera and we'll be on our way out. The sky looks nice. It's turning very dark. It's probably gonna rain again. I got a swarm of these deer flies. Very angry. Oh, come on. That debris was floating in there already, wasn't it? Yeah, that's a whole tree. That's not beavers. Just gotta make sure. There's no sign of active beavers. These sticks probably just floated here. There's no beaver, right? I'm just hearing water swishing. I think so. There's a fresh piece there, though. Looks like it was jammed. I don't think anyone showed up in just these couple of minutes. Just the way it's swishing. Sounds like there's something in there, but I don't think so. That was not just jammed in there, right? I gotta go back and look at the footage. I don't think so, though. It was there. This hasn't been touched since we left. Went back and looked at that footage of the snake. It was there. All right, let's head on out. Got a mulberry bush growing out here, too. So what you're seeing right here is 3 years worth of growth from the last clear cut. It's already about 8 feet tall, way over my head. They leave a couple random trees standing, hoping to drop seeds and replenish it. I like their other method when they plant it. It looks beautiful when they plant balsam fir trees. It looks like a Christmas tree farm until they get much bigger. I love driving through balsam tree forests that are healthy. When they replant them with a machine, it looks so beautiful when they start growing in that really thick evergreen forest. Because these forests here, we're very far north. They originally were all evergreen, pretty much. Let's go. Let's get on the road. All right, everyone. I'll add a little bit of footage of trucks driving around, and I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Coming up to another job on this road, about an hour down it. We should be able to get that one done before. That's a very pretty moth on my windshield. The lupine around here is beautiful. Look at that. We have pink, mostly purple. There were some white ones down the road. Look at that. I love these wildflowers. I actually planted some of them at my house. A little bit late, but they'll come up eventually. This whole road is full of it. That was just a more dominant patch of it. Yep, in northern Maine, lupine is in full bloom. Now that we're getting into we're already well into the second week of the month of June. My area, this stuff was in bloom a couple weeks ago. Never actually seen a double wide trailer, two of them like that. I've never seen that before out here. It's common to see double wide trailers on these off roads, but never two of them by one truck. Never seen that out here. And right here we got some grading going on. See that large hump right there to the left? They're smoothing it out, pulling out rocks, sending them over to the side. I see the grader up there. We'll catch up to it in a couple of minutes. Roads are a bit of a mess today compared to the last time I took this road. It's been raining a bit. Trees are almost full of leaves. Growing season here officially starts on June 15th, but we haven't had a frost in nearly 4 weeks. Come up to the grader. Got a bridge right here.
everything. Digging the blade down into the ground. Give him a wave. Here's a low spot. Let's scoot on over to where it's a little bit smoother until another vehicle comes. Another bridge. Stopped right here. Look at this. It's a gigantic mama snapping turtle. You see this? These are all different areas of eggs. They're coming up out of this river. They got a very dominant trail. This is a lot of snapping turtles coming up and down. That's what this trail is. Over here too, lots of areas of eggs. They're probably okay here. Hopefully when the babies hatch, they go right down there. There's barely any traffic out here in the wilderness. We're like 60 miles away from the nearest paved road. It's a beautiful river. Let's go take a quick look at mama snapping turtle laying eggs. Let's see. Is she laying them into the hole? Let's see. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. Not even afraid that I'm here. Look at that. Her shell's covered in little fleas. I see a horsefly. All right, gonna see more come out? That's cool. I've never witnessed this before. She has no fear. And I really hope this turtle doesn't get hit, because there's massive logging trucks going by with double trailers. It's basically all the traffic on this road at the moment. Well, that was cool to see. There's a big old snapper. Look at that. Ooh. Get another shot of eggs. And this is a lot of turtles. Look at all the different holes. At least they're off to the side. Nothing should run them over. Hopefully this turtle goes right back to the water without getting hit. Yep. Look how deep the hole is down there. I think she's done. Is she gonna bury it in front of us? Pretty decent sized turtle. See, some of them didn't even bury them in. Maybe they got scared away by trucks. Alright everyone, this is another bridge. Is there any evidence of snapping turtles laying here? Not on this side, probably too steep. On the other side, absolutely. There's a ton of holes from snappers. Hopefully the grader doesn't crush them. Got a ton of erosion here. Look at the size of that rock down in the hole. This is probably erosion from it raining. Yep, the embankment's collapsing, holding up the dirt above the culvert pipe. Although I do see water trickling in there, so there might be an actual hole in the culvert. You see that little water trickling down in there? Maybe the culvert slid a little bit, like a joint came apart, the coupling wasn't put together correctly. Then water started passing through the pipe at high rates during storms, washing it out. The hole probably got worse by water flowing into it. But also it's happening on the other side too. And these aren't marked. Someone could hit that at night and break something if they pull over. We're gonna quickly mark it. All right, we marked it. And we marked the other side. Some dangerous things like that, you just can't let it slide. Someone could eventually fall into that stuff. So I always turn around and mark it. Unless it's a road where the damage is extremely horrible, I'll mark like the first thing on the road, and the rest of them I don't mark, because you should already be paying attention at that point if it's like every pipe after a really, really bad storm. Oh, look at that. I just mentioned the road was a little bit bad. Now it'll probably be fixed on the way back. I got the air intake open on this vehicle because it's not dusty, and its smell of earth smells so good. It smells like opening a jar of worms before you go fishing. Alright, we're back 5 hours later, right before dark. Just double checking. No sign of the beavers coming back. Nope. I think it might be safe to say that they were relocated. Maybe. Because their lodge was there. They didn't come out angry like they should have. Usually when you pull up on scene, you'll see them quickly moving away. I don't see any evidence that there's beavers still here. So the trapper must have just got them. Good. We got another friend. And you notice on the sides of the road, it's all turtle nests. It's unfortunate that they come up here to do it, but they do it because it's softer to dig. Very unfortunate. These are probably all buried turtle eggs, which are going to die. The grader's going to be on this road within the next few days. These mama snapping turtles that we've been seeing all day are laying eggs in the road, which is really unfortunate. These are all turtle nests. Yep, very recent ones. Before it even rained, a couple of them laid eggs. The chances are low that the eggs will be intact, getting thrown off by the grader. Almost zero, I would say. Oh, there's another turtle laying eggs, and there's a decent sized stream here. That's probably where they're coming from. So I can tell you, they're not living in this. That's not enough food for these guys. They eat a lot of fish. Here's a slightly smaller one laying eggs. Ooh, looks like it's smiling. More. These are all different turtles. Very unfortunate. Just the weight of a vehicle running them over. These turtles are not anywhere near endangered, so it's not like this is going to hurt the population, but it's sad to see almost every turtle I find. Is that another one? Yep. Another snapper up there. It's unfortunate that you got to do it next to the road like this. Like, why couldn't they do it up there? Because it's not as easy to dig. That's why they choose this. Look at his tail. It's like a little dinosaur.
And you at least get off the road a bit before I leave. There's not much traffic this time of day. Only a couple vehicles will maybe take this throughout the night, even it being tourist season. But during the day, there's going to be dozens of heavy log trucks taking this road. Go on. It's cool how they all have different shells. Some of them are more spiky, but that's not necessarily a good thing. It usually means the turtle's not getting good enough calcium if they have what's called pyramiding. Like this one here is really nice, the shell. Come on. Come on. It wants to go this way even though that's away from the water because it probably wants to continue laying eggs. Yeah. Well, its chances of not getting run over are very high, so that's okay. I love seeing turtles. If I see one in the center of the road, I always make sure it gets off to the side, but that's sad. There's probably hundreds of turtle eggs buried there.